Hi, I'm Arisa. Welcome to season 2 of The Bridge, Africa's #1 financial literacy show, brought to you by Business Day. This season, we're shaking things up a bit. We're going to be interviewing millennial business leaders and celebrities and talking to them about the business models and financial decisions behind their successful brands. Our guest today is Atafo, creative director of Atafo. He's popularly known for his menswear designs and more recently, Weddings by Atafo. Stay tuned. Hi, Mai.
Hello, Arisa.
Fashion designer extraordinaire.
Yes.
I'm always a little bit nervous when I'm going to be in your presence because I'm like, do I look okay? Because you're very...
Not for you. You're always on point.
You always pay very particular attention to detail.
I'm selling my market.
I love it. You look amazing.
Thank you very much.
Okay, basically, the point of The Bridge is to, look at the business models behind some of the biggest brands that millennials have been able to grow, in this market. You are one of the go-to fashion designers stars, and I want a young person who's watching this interview to go away with some practical tips on how to make financial decisions that can help them build a brand like yours. So let's start with, you started with brand management,
yes,
and then you became a fashion designer. Talk to me a little bit about how you started.
Pretty much, my story is not a typical fashion designer story, to be honest. So I didn't want to be a fashion designer.
Okay.
I got into it out of the love of just wearing clothes and looking good. So what you would call being vain, those good old days. But I just love clothes, and I used to just love wearing clothes and express myself through clothing. And my career path landed me in marketing. Okay. Even though I studied economics in school and did a master's in IT, came back home, I started working in marketing, in market research. Which is quite interesting. So I did that for a bit and moved on to marketing projects, and I went to marketing innovation, then to brand marketing. So I kind of did the length and breadth of marketing. Yeah, and I did that for a good close to 9 years. But there's always this burning desire to always look good and wear clothes and stuff. And the story always goes when you wear something, goes, where did you get it from? And go I made it. And they're like, oh, wait, can you hook me up? So I would just hook them up with the tailor. So basically you saw an opportunity and you could. The funny thing was, it was there, but I didn't see it as an opportunity. Because that's I think that's the issue these days. You don't see it as an opportunity. You don't know the size of the price. You don't know anything. It's just oh, this is nice to do. So when I left my job, I started doing fashion when I was working. So it was like a side hustle. So it was a side hustle. So I did it for 3 years as a side hustle. After then, I, quit my job. But I always say take a break from my job, doing a long break, and I started doing it full time. So was it because you realized, I'm actually making a lot of money from this, and I can afford to leave my job? No, that wasn't the decision, actually. Okay. The reason I left my job was that I looked at my current career and I said, listen, if I get one more promotion, which was actually looming around, I wouldn't be able to do fashion again at all, because I would be going closer to a marketing director role. And there's no way I'll now be going around so it was and taking more measurements. This is my passion. There's something here. So I just thought, let me explore this. So I would not, tomorrow say, what if I did? What would I have been? What if, what if, So I just said, let's go. And if it doesn't work out, I'll go back to my paid job, because I knew, my marketing skills are always going to be there. They don't disappear. All you have to just keep updated. So one of the things that a lot of Nigerian entrepreneurs complain about is a lack of access to capital. So would you say that because you had a 9-to-5 job and you're doing really well, that helped to fund your side hustle and then your business? Exactly. So it was purely a side hustle. Investors, not till tomorrow. Loans. Oh, wow. And the funny thing is that, I keep telling people that if I have thought about it the way with talking about it today, I probably wouldn't have left my job. Because it wouldn't have seemed like it's now a business, So that's why we're going in in inches as against growing in like, you know,
Bounds
in leaps and
leaps,
bounds.
yeah.
Exactly. So that's the issue, because we didn't look at it as
a business. So let's talk about, you've built this huge brand, especially, you know, using social media. You did weddings like Banky W and Adeswa's wedding, and that broke the internet.
Yeah, I literally
It
did that.
So that must have created a lot of like visibility and demand for your brand.
Yes.
So have you started looking like outwards, like out of Nigeria? We have all these problems, but now technology has made it so that the world is smaller, and you've built a brand that's big enough to stand, you know, alongside a lot of international designers. So how are you tapping into that?
I mean, when you say things, it looks very scary. But one of the first things that we try to do is that we try to always step up our production and quality capabilities. And that's one thing I'm always very, very, you know, specific about, how to step that up, because if you don't do that, I mean, it's just a waste of time and space. Secondly, like you talked about the weddings I do ship clothes out of the country on a regular basis, wedding dresses and suits and stuff. So the demand is coming, and they're coming in here. I make it here and I take it out there. Now, that's making me incur a lot of costs too, because, you know, when the customs of the other countries sees it, like, hey, you know, take this from there and all that kind of stuff, and my customer has to bear all that. So in my head, and it's a question I keep asking myself, does it make financial sense to produce here? And this is where it's going to really hurt, because I can say, what if I take my production to Europe for my European clients and take it to Asia for the other clients and bring it and distribute, which is perfect business sense.
That could be a business model. But that whole buy Nigeria thing doesn't work.
So you see, so at the point in time, this is where we have to think about it properly and see where this international growth is getting you. Do you get what I mean? Because, I mean, I delivered a dress to someone in the US. She just called back and said, oh, amazing. I mean, she's Cameroonian in the US and ordered the wedding dress from me. She's gotten the dress and she's over the moon. And that's worked nicely.
You feel like your brand is bigger than your financial success.
Yes.
But let's be serious.
I know. Yeah.
You have achieved some level of financial success.
I have.
So what I want to hear is, you know, how do you manage your personal finances? You have a business, you know, you have all these struggles that you're going through and everything, and you're solving problems, but you've still been able to build a successful brand. But how do you manage your own personal net worth?
Yeah. Interestingly, you know, I'm seriously terrible at that. I wouldn't even lie. Luckily, my wife is a chartered accountant.
Okay.
And I mean, the business account is joint, so she signs as a sign, or she can sign without me signing.
So she kind of
and she runs all the payments and everything. She's the one in charge of all that. So she's the one that puts everything in check. So I get a salary, which is very embarrassing because the business pays for everything that I do, right? So my salary is like 200K a month, and even at the end of that, she still tells me, what do you spend your 200K? You know what I mean? Because the business actually pays for every other thing.
Which is a very important thing.
So luckily, I cannot have a lifestyle of going to pop champagne in the club because I do not have the money to pop champagne in the club. You know, I can't go head on with Davido. You know, he will slay me as we're getting through the door, you know? So that has created a different kind of attitude and behavior for even me as a human being. So in terms of now investment, and that's what I say now, we kind of like the rent for the business, the rent for the house, the rent for anything is taken out monthly from the earnings.
So that you can save towards
you're saving towards everything. So at the end of the year, you have that money and you're going to put it into something. That's when you now know that, this year we have to ramp up, because if we ramp up, we can get this saving and push in there. So a good example is like, I got my car off a loan from a bank. Okay. And I was paying money monthly to the bank. And some influx came and we kind of like settled the whole thing.
So you could pay off the debt.
So we paid everything, but she insisted that the repayment continues to a different account. Now, not because you had a huge money come from somewhere, someone was nice to you and said, oh, take this.
So you actually dropped it in saying, or Well, I'm really bad at that. You've on the slide dropped a few financial gems.
No, because
there.
I've learned. I've learned from her. So it's like, so those kind of things, like, okay, always, like there's constant money, we call it survivor money, that you just take it and just store away.
Okay.
Because in Nigeria, you could wake up one morning and you're fine.
Emergency
and there's no
fund.
problem.
Yeah.
But for the end of the day, you are hit with the 2 million naira problem. I swear that only happens in Nigeria.
Because do you know what? It happens everywhere, but our own costs here are just
ridiculous.
Phenomenal.
You think your house is okay, then when it rains, it floods, and the furniture is, TV is gone, and boom, and that's like 2 million. You're thinking.
Okay, so I just want to highlight a few things from what Maya has said that the audience may not have picked up. He runs a successful business, but he pays himself his salary, so he separates his personal finances from his business finances.
Oh yes, that's true.
He does not allow himself to be carried away with people who are trying to tension.
No, you can't exactly. You have more money than everybody's richer than me.
According to his size. And I love the
and that's
fact
the funny thing about it. I also tell people this. People see me in the market buy fabrics. They look at me like, oh, you still come here. I'm like, this is where you buy fabrics from.
Yeah.
So even if I buy fabrics from the international market, why would I want to buy satin?
That's more expensive.
From Turkey?
Yeah.
It's the same thing I get in Yaba. Do you know what I mean? So I will go to Yaba to get my satin, get my chiffon. Now, I'm talking about lace that is expensive or what. Yeah, I get that. But every other thing, why won't I go myself? Like, oh, why don't you send somebody? I'm like, I actually do enjoy shopping.
Yeah.
So my employees tell me, do not go, but I want to go because when I'm doing that, I get an eye for something. Like, oh, right.
This could work.
That could work,
yeah.
And I'll do it. It's the same thing I do happily overseas, because I could be in the market in Guangzhou for like 6 hours because no one knows who the hell I am.
You're really made for this fashion.
I'm with my shorts and my t-shirt and I'm going in and I'm excited. I found something. So it's quite interesting. So I think that let people really understand your process. And if you really understand your process, it will work for you.
Yeah.
You can tell, like, you can't tell me how much chiffon is. And you lied to me, I would know. It's not even
so know your numbers, possible. Know your business.
No, exactly what this, and I think what kills us is also the pricing and how to reach for customers based on your thinking. I always tell young people, I do something called Fashion Conversation where I mentor young designers.
Okay.
I should be doing one in Abuja this weekend and one in Lagos next weekend. And I tell them, listen, you want to design like Alexander McQueen, right? But designing like Zara gives you money. Okay? So I get it. Now, it may be hard to infuse a little bit of like into Zara and sell, but no good thing to do. How about you sell and make money? And then use that as a guilty pleasure. So you can make 3 of that in a year. And it was one at the biggest red carpet, and you're like, yes, because that feeling is nice. Yeah. So just do that. But make sure you're making money. Because I have a saying that said the only thing that can kill your passion is poverty. The moment that you are always gingered every day, like, I'm happy, then you come back and there's nothing, all of a sudden you see yourself going like, the reality of I always say this, the reality of when you're driving home, right? And your fuel tank is like empty. And you're like, okay. And you get to your gate.
Am I going to make it?
And the power goes off. And you go to the back to put on the generator. And the guy say, okay, now only 2 liters there inside generator. Like, that will be enough for the night. And you put on generator and it doesn't come on because it is bad. Then you have to go in and sleep in the heat. So your battery charge fan is now low. Then, that point where you're sitting down there sweating. Guys, you know what I'm talking about? That is your reality. That is your reality.
Okay, so in your entire journey, you've learned a lot of lessons, but I'm sure you also made a lot of money mistakes. So can you share like your biggest money mistake, how you recovered from it, what you learned from it?
I think I would always go back and cry about my 1.4 million naira Chinese buttonhole machine.
It was like I was
invested so much, and this is 1.4 when the dollar hadn't gone up, so you have a good understanding of
the value.
So the value right now is like 3 times what I'm talking about. So you get the good design. I could have bought a car if I wanted to at the point in time with that money, and you're buying something of that magnitude. I mean, it's not written in English. You're like, you are sure that the guy that sold it to you will back it up and stuff. And the guy installed it in the first 1 year, it didn't work.
Wow.
So it was just painful.
It was a sunken cost.
It was just gone, literally. So for me, that's one financial investment that I made in my business. I totally, absolutely.
But I guess every regret is also provides lessons.
It
So what's your best investment decision? What's the best thing you've ever invested in that made you the most money? Or you felt like was a great financial decision?
I think my biggest investment, which is funny, I mean, there are two, but there one, was actually training. I brought in a master tailor from Saviro to Nigeria to come and train my team for 2 weeks.
Amazing.
It cost more than the Chinese potatoes. But
it's a gift that keeps on giving.
It was unbelievable what we learned in the time. Then I had to now go to Milan to go and study 4 weeks, menswear, pattern making and stuff. But that's the most fashion school I've been to in my whole life. But that was part of the trigger. But that on its own was my biggest ever financial investment, because till today it still juggles the way I think about how I make things.
Yeah. Talk to me about what you like to splurge on. So what's the one thing that when you make money, it's not necessarily an asset, but you love it. You can't do without it. I feel like it's going to be shopping for clothes.
No, I make all the clothes. So I don't. That's my problem. When I go anywhere, like I can make that.
Why would I buy?
I can make it. Why am I buying that? I can make it. So I manage that.
So it's not that.
It's shoes.
Oh my god.
I'm like a girl.
Oh my god, I love it. So you're very into your shoes.
I have. It's terrible. I have double monk. I mean, the double monk shoes. So they have 2 buckles on the side. That's what it's all about. So I have in black, in brown, not single monk. I have the single monks. So this is double monk. I have in black. I have in brown. I have in tan. I have in a green suede. I have in denim and green leather. I have in a nubuck. Right? Those are the ones I can count on top of my head. I have white.
I love how passionate you are when you're even talking about these shoes.
And this is just a double monk. Not the brogues. Not the loafers I just got into like 2 years ago. It's terrible.
I know.
If I have a 4
but you know
room,
the important
I got
thing,
shoes here,
the important thing
and my wife has like that half of one side. It's embarrassing.
Really?
But yes.
Oh my days. But the important thing is for you to spend intentionally on the things that you love and cut expenses everywhere else.
Oh yeah, and for me, I genuinely love it, because you probably will go into my wardrobe and not find a pair of Gucci shoes. So it's not about
it's about
brand.
Quality. It's not
about the shoe, the design, and how I love it. I just found one new shoe store in Turkey, and
you're
my
like
God.
Obsessed. Okay, so what's your final 2 questions?
Okay, she said final like 4 times, but it's okay. I'm enjoying myself.
Final 2 questions. What is your smart money mantra? Like your money philosophy, the one thing that you absolutely have to do with your money?
I have to save the money so I can reinvest it. So it's like whatever plans I have to start taking out. AKA divide by 12. Whenever the budget divide by 12, if it doesn't work, divide by 24. So you are working towards something. That's it.
So basically save intentionally towards big ticket items or goals.
And there's something else this environment has made me also learn is no matter what it is, no matter if you have worked for it, if the money is not in your bank account, you have not earned it. So don't plan with it. Even if it's your birthright. Yeah. Because this environment has twists and turns. You've made something, you've got a client, they may just refuse to pay you.
So basically, don't count your chickens before they hatch. Until you see the money, don't make plans around
it. In your bank account cleared, that's when it's exactly yours. Before then, whatever is happening is not yours. So I always celebrate credit alert.
Yep.
Okay, every credit alert.
If you had 1 billion, how would you? If you had 1 billion naira, let's say you won the lottery or someone just gifted you 1 billion, how would you spend it?
You guys will give me a billion after it.
How would you spend it and how would you invest it?
Honestly, if I actually do have get like a proper 1 billion. I'm so excited even talking about it. Oh, yeah. I think then I would be able to invest in my business calculatedly, right? And I swear I could turn it around in a year. That much, if I had the kind of money to invest in it, I could turn that thing around.
So would you invest the whole thing in your business?
I wouldn't. I'm a milestone kind of investor.
Okay.
So even if I'm going to have 10 projects, I'll take on one and check that and take on another one.
When you see progress.
Yes, and see progress. Because, I mean, the other things I want, I have 3 movie scripts I want to finish. So it'd be nice to say, okay, let's go just shoot a movie immediately. Yeah. But you know what? I still want to do the short story first before I do that. So now that I know I have the money, I'll probably be smarter with my... This has happened to me before in the past, where I think if I get 10 million right now, I know exactly what to do. And 6 months from that, everything I thought I would do with the 10 million, I wouldn't do 6 months down the line. Like, you know, so nice, more about critical thinking, actually, you know, working it out and trying to figure it out. So
I love it.
I swear that I can tell you that more than 50% of that will actually go into the business.
So what would you splurge on? What would you spend on? Travel?
Funny thing is, a house. A house I would not buy, but a house I would design.
Okay.
Because I think that as I've gotten older, I kind of like understand space and lines even more. And I feel like the kind of house I want to live in would be very, very modern.
Yeah.
And they don't build this kind of houses
randomly,
right? Yeah. You know, so it has to be your own property you're building like that. So it's going to be so modern, and it will be my place.
Your style.
It will be my style, it will be everything. And it doesn't have to do a lot with, you know, heavy things here and there. And no, it's actually very, very simple. But it's thought through from where the TV is hanging to what kind of furniture sits in this space and how much space you have, what kind of floor is here, is it wooden, is it...
I totally get you.
So it's that kind of thing. So I like it when I come home and I'm like,
home is tranquil, it's not stressful.
That's it. That's my
totally get you.
So I would probably, that's what I would splurge on. Not another car, definitely not another wife. You know, it's probably more business than that. Even I'm an Edo man, but yeah, not another wife.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. It's been so much fun.
I know.
I don't want this to stop. I feel like we should go on for another hour.
I know that the guys who are watching this and want to be the next Maya Atafo are going to learn so many
I just hope
practical lessons.
They've learned something, because, you know, people do not talk about the reality of these things. And they don't talk about it. I tell people fashion designing is 20% fashion.
The rest
80%
of it is business.
And if you cannot hack business, you know, that's why the Igbo man will be more successful, because he sees business and doesn't see. I mean, there's a joke I heard about Black Panther, and the Igbo man thought it was Black Pant. Her. So he thought it was Black Pant for a girl. So Black Pant her. So he said he was ready for Black Pant he. So he saw the opportunity, and when they told him that no, it was a movie, he was like,
how does that one work?
That doesn't work. And I said, okay, you know what, let us do part 2. So that's you know, I like that kind of thinking. It's like, you know, let's do the money. Let's forget the fancy, let's do the money.
That's what the show is about. So thank you so much. I'm so grateful.
Love being here.
It's hard to expand my business.
You know, many farmers depend on me. All these banks saying they don't see my vision.
Sorry for interrupting. That's not exactly true. Just last year, I had planned to expand my hospitality business. It was tough, but I met the right people.
Who exactly are these people?
My bank, FCMB.
With the right people who believe in your visions, getting to your desired destination is easier and quicker. Let's help you take the next step. FCMB, my bank and I.
Welcome back, guys. So that was a really great interview with Maya Atafo. He dropped some gems about the business of fashion in Nigeria. The highlights for me were: 1, it's super important for you to invest in mastering your craft. When Maya wanted to take his business to the next level, he invested in a Savile Row tailor coming to Nigeria to train him and his staff. So what are you doing to be the best you can be at what you do? 2, save systematically towards big ticket items. He gave the example of a generator and rent, and how he would put money aside over a 12-month period or a 24-month period to reach his financial goals. 3, he talked about building a business instead of just building a brand, because the fashion industry in Nigeria has become notorious for building brands that are larger than life without the profitable businesses to match the brands. So thank you so much for watching this episode of The Bridge. See you next time.